So the chapter starts off with us getting a sight of the Blue Lock Stadium outside erupting in cheers as the opening blurb says that the end of the Nigeria match draws near. Japan leads with a new ego, with the crowd cheering and this nigga with the drums think he's speed watching Ronaldo last weekend. The announcer says that there's only 15 minutes left in the opening match in the U20 World Cup. The new U20 Blue Lock of Japan is leading with a whopping 3-0. We then see the substitution board come out as we see Ego make the boss call and sub in my boys Kurona and Raichi onto the pitch. Really glad to see them get some shine this early on into the U20 World Cup because I'ma keep it a buck, we might never see them again in the future matches. This nigga Raichi talking about some the match closer steps onto the field, and I won't even flame him for this because not only do I fuck with the energy he's showing off right off the subbing, but let's keep it a buck, bro. At this point, even Igaguri can do some detrimental damage against Team Nigeria. We then see that it was Hiyori and Chigiri who ended up being the ones to be subbed out as a result, which makes sense because we haven't really seen them get active since like the first 3 chapters, and I knew once Rayo used the 44 Panther snipe, Chigiri was not getting his highlight in this match. Ego says that the experiment has ended, and in these last 15 minutes, he's telling the team to end Team Nigeria with a 0, a clean sweep. This might be glazed, but bro was mad tough saying this. Oh my god. We restart the match and Raichi's already got his sights on Kuso. Yeah, them Kuso stocks keep going down chapter by chapter. What did I tell you? Nigeria is the equivalent to Raichi level and Igaguri level. We then continue from where we left off last chapter, going into Isagi's training from Ego 44 days prior to the U20 World Cup that transformed his ego. We see him watching the VODs that were sent to him and even on the plane on his way to Europe, with even Salah in the cut, and he even scored a goal. Like, what is this? With this assignment Ego gave to Isagi, he knows that by learning more about football, his sense of values change and become newer. We see Isagi hyped because of this goal and eagerly wanting to try out this new version of himself once he gets back home to Japan. We then pan to these 2 kids also hyped at Salah's goal and even inspired to become players of their own someday and hopefully get a Ballon d'Or. This reminds Isagi of his childhood and why exactly he started playing football in the first place as we go back to baby Isagi. We see Mama Yoichi trying to comfort him as he's crying, and turns out this nigga was crying because of a damn mosquito, and turns out this nigga was a damn crybaby who was crying over literally anything and everything. Who would have guessed that now this nigga would put fear into other people, have them have whole PTSD flashbacks and sleep paralysis demons of himself and other people? Papa Isagi low-key outs him, saying that he even cries to raindrops, wondering why that is. Now, there's a part of the Egoist Bible, like the Blue Lock light novel, that mentions Isagi being able to sense before it would rain or some shit. Just the common connection between the two. Now, personally, I never really spoke on it because I ain't tap into the light novel, but yeah. Definitely some early planting foreshadowing right here. But Pops ends up surprising him with tickets to go out and see a football game as a family IRL. We ain't gonna say too much on the drip because he's keeping it casual. You see the straw hat, Luffy inspiration, I feel that. His mom asks if he's okay and to let them know if he feels scared at any time, to where his pop says that he's surprisingly doing fine because he's like calm. Isagi's eyes are glued to the field as he sees that there's a lot of people and a lot of craziness going on, and starting to understand the idea of the sport, like how they're all chasing after one ball and how it's an 11 versus 11 match to steal the goal. And we see this player score a goal. If anyone knows who this is, please let me know in the comments. But Isagi says that at that moment, he felt as if his brain awakened as he was mesmerized by it. A very similar reaction to how Ness viewed the sport at first. Isagi says that he wants to try scoring goals himself and being on the pitch. And now that he takes a second to think about it, he might have been stimulated by the so-called instincts of hunting that Ego mentioned before. He thought football was fun, and whatever it was, he wanted to learn more about it, and he wanted to grow stronger day by day. And before he knew it, he became engrossed with himself. Look how he's looking at Noah on the big screen as a kid. And look what happened in the NEL. Reminder, please never meet your idols. Isagi continues on, saying that over time that feeling has faded as he grew up from a teen to an adult with his school team, and he felt like dying inside. And honestly, this just might be the only person that can get me more mad than Nagi on sight. Ooh, I hope this nigga Isagi gives him the ego of doom when they meet again. But anyways, once Isagi went to Blue Lock and met all the different types of egoists there, he realized the name of his passion that he lost. And speak of the devil, how did they sneak him into this chapter? Oh my god. But I'm gonna keep it a bug. He did have a big impact on Isagi's growth, so I'm gonna chill out on him for now. But watch out, never sneak him in a panel again, Nomura. After coming to Blue Lock, from that time, the true form of what he felt is called the curiosity towards himself. As we tap back into the Nigeria match with Raichi and Corona double pressing Noahsxz right off the bat, messing up the pass. How are we getting shown up by niggas like these, bro? And they my dogs, don't get me wrong, but this is just so disappointing for Nigeria. They keep disappointing chapter after chapter. And to think that I had hope for you from the last chapter, shame on you, Noahsxz. Nigeria ain't give up though, as we see Bello trying to get the loose ball, but that's when we see Isagi agreeing with himself, and that if he doesn't excite himself, then who would want to live his life, referring to himself in third person, managing to beat Bello to the ball with the meta vision and the puzzle pieces on go. And as he's on the move, Isagi says that his adaptability, his hopes on someone else, his pleasure, frustration, and even his hopelessness, saying for it to come at him more. He really saying that he wants all the pain, all the smoke, it ain't enough right now, stating that he wants to live on the battlefield to meet the new version of himself with his desire to evolve, being boundless. Oh my god, this nigga is on a different type of timing. Lock in your parlays, guys. Isagi goal is for sure to come in the next chapter, with the ending blurb saying that ego to score arouses his body to move, ending off the chapter. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this chapter started off more calm, but this final panel had me so hype right here. I'm not gonna lie, cause Isagi is really looking like a demon, bro. He really looked like he's someone who's really about it. This panel gives me the same vibes as the one from the Manshine City match, you know, the one where he told Corona to go get the ball like he was a dog. This guy is looking mad tough though, I'm not gonna hold you. Now, thankfully, we got no break next week, but you know how it be with this manga and their fluctuating chapter drops. But next chapter is titled Hope in Broad Daylight. I personally think an Isagi goal needs to happen, especially since apparently niggas are hating on Isagi after Crocodile, I guess, caused a whole ass uproar about wanting to see Isagi score more as a goal and prove his worth as a striker as he tried to do in the NEL. But I've just learned to trust in the GOAT Kaneshiro and Ego's vision. Cause I'm not gonna hold you. If Ego wanted that nigga Isagi to score a hat trick, that nigga would go score that hat trick and more. But if not, maybe an Noahsxz block and Nigeria turnaround. But it does feel like every time I say that, I regret it later. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this chapter review, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment down below your thoughts on the chapter and your predictions on the next chapter. Make sure to also go follow the socials like the Instagram and the Twitter, and be sure to join the Discord as well to be a part of the community. All links are in the description down below, and without further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and see ya.